Alright, another battle here for you today against the Gavin Hill. And he's coming at me on the Twitch stream again. And yeah, we gotta accept and let's go. Um, so yeah, you can see the teams. And something I notice is he doesn't really have. He has one Celesteela counter really on his team. Something that can really counter Celesteela. So something I noticed right off the bat is that Arcanine needs to die, and I might be able to wall this guy. So just a pre-team observation there. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Torkoal. Now, Torkoal does get, the drought in this generation, but I am going with Shell Armor 1 because, this is supposed to be a Shell Smasher. He's going to lead with his Necrozma. I was thinking that he would just try to set up Stealth Rocks right off the bat. He ends up going for a T-Wave, which I really wasn't expecting, and that kind of sucks because I do go for the Shell Shock here, or Shell Break, or whatever it's called. I think I had it right the first time. Oh well, but yeah, now I'm paralyzed though, so I can't actually outspeed this thing, and with my special defense down, obviously not going to be in good shape on an incoming Psychic, so I have to switch out, and that kind of sucks. Ruined my little surprise set right off the bat, but oh well. I'm going to go into Sharpedo. I end up critting with a Crunch because I didn't Mega Evolve yet because I want to get, at least one speed boost before doing that. And, yeah, he's just going to go for the Moonlight, so he's back to full HP pretty much anyway. Now, I am going to Mega Evolve, and once I do, I get a considerable attack boost. Not to mention my ability will boost Crunch, so I'm confident that I can do quite a bit more. This time, he ends up switching out into Muck because he really doesn't want to take a Crunch. And, yeah, he's just going to take a Crunch on Muck, which ends up still doing a decent amount. Now, most Mucks run Assault Vest, so they're better at taking special moves than physical. But a Resistant Crunch still does a little under half damage, so I'm hoping to maybe kill with a Waterfall. Unfortunately, does not quite KO. And he said he misclicked here, and that's a pretty bad one. He goes for a knockoff, which doesn't actually get boosted damage against Megas because you can't knock off Mega Stones. So, yeah, he said it was a misclick. I believe him because there's no point to do that. And it kind of sucks, though, because he could have gotten some considerable damage if he went for a decently powerful poison move. So he goes into Decidueye, which is actually kind of a bad play. I would have probably just sacked off Muck at that point, but yeah, I'm able to go ahead and kill the Decidueye, which isn't bad for me at all. So he goes into Tapu Fine, which actually completely walls me. Now, I do make a mistake here. I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to get some damage on this Tapu Fine with Psychic Fangs. I really should have just switched out and kept Sharpedo because of how much of a problem it is for his team. But I just let it die, and that was, in hindsight, pretty poor play. I should have just switched out and continued to harass him with it. But whatever. Gonna go into my own Tapu, my Tapu Bulu, which I think is quickly becoming my favorite Tapu. This is a Choice Banded set, and I'm just going to... I actually predict the Arcanine switch in here, because it's a pretty obvious prediction, because it resists, has Intimidate, resists Horn Leech. So I go for a Stone Edge, and I miss. Luck has not been with me recently when it comes to hitting certain moves. Well, I guess they call them Stone Miss and Focus Miss for a reason, but, oh well, it sucks when you get the right prediction that just denies you. Oh well, gonna go out into Torkoal because at the very least, I'm pretty confident it can take, yeah, that Flare Blitz pretty nicely. Torkoal does have considerable defense, and also, it, resists because it's a fire type itself. So I do have Earthquake on this, and I actually completely forgot, but Grassy Terrain reduces damage of ground moves, which I had forgotten right now. So, yeah, I go for an Earthquake, and it doesn't really do anything. I'm like, why didn't it do anything, man? I know it's not Stab, and I know I don't have a Shell Smash, but Shell should do something more than that. He doesn't have an Intimidate, but then I'm like, oh, right, yeah, the Grassy Terrain. I mean, the terrains do have so many little random effects, it's hard to keep track of them all. In fact, I really kind of don't like that about them. I wish they would just do, like, one thing and maybe boost a type, and that's about it. But whatever. He goes into Tapu Fine now, and that thing would take an Earthquake pretty well anyway, so whatever. I get paralyzed, so doesn't end up mattering. Gonna go ahead and switch out, so I can continue to maybe switch in Torkoal. But it's actually getting to Withered Dad anyway. I go back into Bulu. I don't think he has much to do to me. The worst he can do is a Moonblast, which could do a little bit of damage, but because I don't resist it. But I'm confident I can live and then get HP back with Horn Leech anyway, not to mention my Grassy Terrain, which I set back up. And I do decide to go for a Horn Leech this time. He ends up going back into Arcanine, but I probably would have missed with Stone Miss anyway, so... And at this point, his Arcanine is a little bit withered down, so any amount of damage, like I said, in the back of my mind, this Arcanine is really the only thing he has for Celesteela, and like that any effective method of stopping Celesteela. The Tapu Fine as well, since my Celesteela is kind of a toxic set, but pretty sure I could wall it just with Leech Seed, to be honest. But either way, gonna go for the Horn Leech after the Intimidate. Doesn't really do much despite my choice band, but whatever. Gonna go ahead and switch out, go into Torkoal again, as he continues to go for Flare Blitz. And Flare Blitz is a really powerful move, especially with Life Orb, which this Arcanine seems to have. It's an offensive set, it seems. So I'm still going to do some decent damage to Torkoal, and he's going to be able to 2-hit KO me. So Torkoal, you did something, I guess. You were able to wall this Arcanine a bit, and it's taking Life Orb damage, and it's not healing as much from the grassy terrain as it's taking from Life Orb. So whatever, you did something, and that's you tried, Torkoal. You tried. So down goes my Torkoal, and Arcanine is nearly dead, though, which is exactly what I want. Gonna go out in my Flygon, and I decide to actually go for a Dragon Dance here. I don't think he's gonna actually carry Will-O-Wisp. It looks like I said, a more offensive Arcanine set. Bulk Arcanines will carry it, but not really, offensive ones like that. So he goes for an Extreme Speed, though, which obviously is confirmed to go faster than me. But I do get a Dragon Dance up, and he's not going to be able to 2-hit KO me with it, obviously. So I'm just going to go now for an Earthquake to get rid of this thing as he continues to go for an Extreme Speed. And he ends up hitting me down to maybe about a third, maybe a fourth, somewhere around there. So that's not great, but I'm able to at least kill the Arcanine, and after I think my Life Orb, I am pretty low. So yeah, Flygon kind of died to kill this Arcanine, but it's worth it. Don't trust me, Flygon, your death will not be in vain. You'll at least be able to do some exit damage here to Tapu Fine, which is, the other thing that I really just need to kill. And it does some decent damage, too, after the, attack boost. So, there you go. It did stuff, Flygon, and as you might know, Dragon Dance is a new trick that Flygon got this generation. It did not previously have access to Dragon Dance, but now it does. So, yay for Flygon. Any switch, Tapu Fine is pretty low, and he actually does not. He lost his real great switch in to Horn Leech. Now, he still has Pinsir, but he'd have to switch it in before he gets the X4 resistance. And Pinsir, base Pinsir is not incredibly bulky, so he'd probably still take a decent chunk from the Horn Leech. So he decides to sack off Tapu Fine there, but now I'm kind of smirking. Now, this Pinsir could still be a threat to my Celesteela if it has Swords Dance and Close Combat, which a lot of them do. But I'm just going to go for it. I go into my Celesteela as he goes and Mega Evolves here, and I believe he just goes for the Quick Attack this turn, wanting to get rid of Bulu before I could do any damage to him. So that plays out in my favor. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm still kind of afraid that he might try for a Swords Dance, and most of them carry Close Combat, so I am a physically defensive Celesteela, though. So I'm pretty confident that I might be able to take that and then, Heavy Slam and stuff. But he ends up going into Necrozma, which takes the Heavy Slam pretty well. But I am also a staller Celesteela. Heavy Slam is my only attacking move. My other moves are Toxic and Leech Seed, so I'm going to go ahead and Toxic this. He goes for a Stealth Rock. I'm not even sure why at this point, since the battle is reaching its conclusion, but I guess better late than never. It's not like he has much to do to me. His only attacking move is probably Psychic, although he probably would have been better spent to T-Wave me and hope for some Parahaxes at this point, but, he set up Stealth Rocks. It's fine. And I get the Toxic off, and now I'm going to go for the Leech Seed, because, that's what this thing does. He's going to go for the Psychic, hoping that it'll do decent chunk, but even with me being, physically defensive, Celesteela does have some monstrous special defense as well. Plus, his Necrozma is clearly not an attacking set. It seems to be, just a lead Necrozma slash harasser, probably. We've seen all four of its moves, actually, so we know it. I think it has Moonlight, Thunder Wave, Psychic, and Stealth Rocks, which is actually probably one of my favorite Necrozma sets. It's the one that I like to use as well, but it's not terribly useful against Celesteela. So I'm going to go into Muck now to sack it off, I guess, so we can get a free switch back into Pinsir, which really is only hope at this point. But he ends up saying he doesn't carry Close Combat, so he is completely walled by Celesteela right now. There's pretty much no hope for him. I don't remember what he said his other move is, but he obviously has Swords Dance. He has Quick Attack, he has Return. I don't know what his fourth move is, but most of the time that move slot is, Close Combat. He might be carrying a Bug move, I guess. But sucks for him because that means Celesteela can just completely wall you, especially since I got a defense beast boost. He's going to be doing absolutely nothing to me because, yeah, it's now I have +1 defense on top of everything else. And yeah, I'm going to continue going for that heavy slam because it's a 3 KO, and yeah, I'm going to just kill the pincer that way. And yeah, it'll be dead then. And then his last Pokemon will be a toxic Necrozma, so it's basically over at this point. But yeah, I still have to actually go about killing it. So he's going to go into it. I'm going to set up a Leech Seed. I decide after that to go into Miltank just to get it out because it hasn't, it didn't actually come out this battle. Fulham wanted me to use it, so screw that guy. Really could, it could have been anything. Could have been anything. But I decided to let it come out and do something maybe after, the battle's pretty much done. So I guess I should get into today's question of the day. Today's question of the day is, what is your favorite Z move? Now, obviously there is one for each type, but there's also some special Z moves that are exclusive to certain Pokemon. For example, there's a Mew one, which I'm actually looking forward to using when that Z move gets revealed, or released, rather. But for now, I kind of really like Z Sandstorm. I like Z Splash. Z Parting Shot is cool. Bloom Doom, as far as attacking goes, just because of the name, it's just excellent. The Ghost one, which I can't even remember right now, also has a really cool name. I can't even remember its name, though. No. But yeah, leave a comment about that. Your favorite Z move has this somewhat fast, fat little cow thing. Kills, the Necrozma thing. So, yeah, good game there, Trevor. Maybe next time. So leave a comment about that, and hope to see you guys again next time. Laters.